Hi everyone, I thought I would jump on today and show you all how to apply the basis of your makeup. So your base application of primer, foundation, concealer, powder, bronzer, blusher, and I might do a little bit of highlight at the end as well. I'll try and incorporate a little bit of contour and a little bit of highlight for you all as well. So I've cleansed my skin. I did a little exfoliate this morning. I have just previously washed my hands. So the facial moisturiser that I've been using recently is the Lush Gorgeous Facial Moisturiser. It's got a lovely texture to it, it's got a lovely smell, and I always put on a little bit of lip balm before I start doing my makeup. This one's Burt's Bees Pomegranate Moisturising Lip Balm, and it's really nice, it's lovely and moisturising. When I was working on clients, I always used to apply a lip balm, because sometimes when you've cleansed, toned and moisturised, your lips often feel a little bit neglected, so I think it's nice to apply that as well. So what I'm just going to do is just apply a little bit of my primer. I'll show you this in a second as well. And it just smells a little bit like SPF sun lotion. So it reminds me of holidays. It just smells lovely. And my skin has been a little bit dry. My hands have been a little bit dry as well. But I think everybody's the same. With washing my hands sort of excessively as well. Every time you get the chance, my skin, I'm just keeping hand cream with me wherever I go. So the primer is Makeup Forever Step 1 Radiant Primer. You can apply primer in one of two ways, just like I've done with my hands, like a little mini facial massage. Or you can use a foundation brush, a flat foundation brush, and just apply it onto the brush like so. And I did put the tiniest little bit of mascara on, as you can see, just before I came on today, because I thought I'm just going to concentrate on base products today. Doesn't matter which way you apply a primer, either way feels lovely. A lovely soft silky brush, and this one's the Bobbi Brown foundation brush. That's a lovely one. Okay. So foundation, so at the minute I've gone through lots of foundations in the past, different textures, types. I've used balms, liquids, but at the minute I'm actually using a stick foundation. Just done a little push-up tube there, and it's Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Stick Foundation. So the coverage is amazing, it's really, really good. I'll show you a little bit. Just trying to get the lighting correct, because it's a sunny day, but it's quite cloudy as well. So I'm just trying to make sure that my lighting is okay. So apologies if I squint, because the sun might be in my eyes a little bit. Okay. And I'll try and just do one half. Of my face, just to show you the difference in coverage. And it's just a silky texture, it's a lovely foundation. I had to buy it from Amazon the last time because the supplier, it's difficult to buy online. Makeup Forever, and you'll notice in this tutorial I use a lot of Makeup Forever primer, foundation and highlighter. It used to be really easy to get hold of. I used to just go through the website, but that was back in 2014 when I first started using the products. And then it changed to Sephora. And now it's just really hard, so I just go on Amazon and see if I can get it when I can. Okay, so foundation, natural. You can see how good that covers, and I've got quite a little bit of redness here and a little bit, but it's not a cakey foundation. You can add a thicker layer if you want to, and you'd go straight onto the skin, like so, but unless it's an evening look or a heavier makeup, I would only really do it then, and that's literally how much I use. I do a sort of streak on a little line on my cheek there, and then I just blend all the way around. And by blending, I just mean you're almost buffering, kind of like buffing the product into the skin. And just check that that's all blended in nicely. Lovely. Then the next step, so you always do primer, foundation, concealer. And again, the concealer, it's the same product I used yesterday. Take it into the corner of my eye and just underneath, and it's just a little MAC cream concealer. I did list all the products in the comments section yesterday, but if anyone's got any queries, then just drop me a line. And I pop a little bit just around my nose, just where I might have a little bit of redness from time to time, especially down sort of this side. And then just buff. Again, I buff the product with a little concealer, little buffing brush. I tend to just make sure that that gets all blended around, just so there's no harsh lines. But then you don't want too obvious white lines directly under your eyes, because that can be a little bit extreme. And again, I'm going to try really hard not to pull makeup faces. I'll try. Okay, and that's a lovely light concealer by MAC. It doesn't often settle in the creases too much either, which is good. So then next, I just set with a little bit of loose powder. This one's a Chanel powder. It's really great for any just everyday wear. It photographs really nicely. And all I do, I just tend to smooth that just on the areas where I might get a little bit of excess shine throughout the day. But just to set the foundation and concealer, it's a really lovely powder. It's a lovely product. And when applying concealers and foundations and powders, always tend to go, you know, apart from when you're blending with your blender brush like that, tend to move in a downwards direction, because you wouldn't want the product settling underneath any sort of facial hair that could then lift up, if that makes sense. If anyone's got any questions, just drop us a line, drop us an inbox, or just pop a comment down below. So that's that step done. So then, just to warm up my base, what I like to use is the same product I used yesterday. It's my kind of wonder product. Between this and my blusher, I really love these products. This one's the Chanel Bronzing Makeup Base, and I just use a Real Techniques, it's a stipple brush really, but I like to sort of swirl the product in. So I just swirl the brush around the product, take a little bit of the excess off, and then just blend that around. I sort of create, I always tend to go like that if I'm going to do a little bit of contouring, because it's the best place to kind of to place the contour. And then with it being a bronzing product, I just tend to apply it where the sun might hit my face and where the sunlight might catch, so my temples. Pop a little bit down my nose, just to warm my base really, and add a little bit of shape. Tiny bit on my chin. Okay, and then I go in with my MAC Harmony blush, which is a lovely product. I have quite a sort of high colouring really. I think with being a natural redhead, my skin does flush quite easily, so I tend to avoid pinky blushers. Apart from the Burt's Bees 2-in-1 that I showed you yesterday, the stick lip and cheek tint, that's lovely, that's really nice, but that's a very muted pink. So just a little bit of blusher, and just find the apples of your cheeks. And then what I just tend to do is just to soften that. I tend to just run the side of my foundation brush almost just flat, Okay, that just warms that, oh, nearly dropped that. That just warms and blends a little bit easier there. And then the next step is with base. So I've done a little bit of contouring just with the bronzer, just slightly. And then I'm going to go in with a Makeup Forever Highlight Compact. Just hold that down a bit so you can see. And it's lovely. I'll sort of show you the... That's it there. So lovely, creamy, powdery. I don't use a lot because it does go a long way. And I just tend to use a flat highlighting brush. As you can see, it's quite, the bristles aren't rounded like a foundation brush. It's a little bit more flat. And it just means that I can sort of place the highlight on the cheek. And I think you can always add a little bit more, but you can't really take it off. You can, but then it just gets a little bit fiddly. So build up if you want to, but I don't tend to put a lot on. I wouldn't use highlight, sorry, for through the day. Personally, some people, you might want to. Adds a nice bit of colour. If I'm feeling a little bit flat, then yeah, I'll go for it. A little bit of highlight, but a lovely special occasion or an evening look is always really good. And what I'll do, if any concealer does seem to settle in the creases under your eyes, there. So I'll just get that a bit closer. You can see that little highlight there. Yeah. And all these products are really nice. I do drink a lot of water, so my skin stays relatively hydrated well. But sometimes products can settle sort of along here if you've got any fine lines or anything. And I do notice I am getting them as I'm getting older. But these products don't tend to settle too badly. And you can just see the lovely, sort of the consistency with the products. They're all really lovely. If you want any information about them, I'll pop a little list again at the end of which products I've used. And then just a tiny little amount of highlight there. Really minimal amount. And again, you can build it up. If you like more highlight, if you don't like highlight, you don't have to apply it. I just thought a little bit of highlighting and contouring might be a useful little video to watch today as well. So then what I could do, I've covered all my base products. It's just my mascara. It's a new one, so it's quite, makes that lovely popping sound. It's just a little mascara. Again, I'm trying not to pull makeup faces. It's quite hard. Okay, and then you could just add a little bit pinky lip gloss, and there we go, all done. So that's base makeup, primer, foundation, concealer, powder, bronzer and blusher. Hopefully you find that useful. If you've got any questions or comments, please just drop a little comment in the comments box. And yeah, have a lovely rest of the weekend. See you soon. Little bit zhuzh of my hair.